Welcome back to the Summer Split Finals, powered by Curse Voice. Still here with myself, Jeff, and DM, Game 4, and I'm surprised we got this far.
You know, honestly, a lot of the casters, and pretty much almost all of the analysis here called 3-1 for AFK, and that's kind of where we're at. I think Cyclone may have out-cycloned himself there, going into a wheelish where she didn't really belong. She still had the counter pick option open. There was no knockups on the team. Cyclone had no effect on that game.
I just think Devios is coming back. That's what I felt there. Devios is starting to make an impact again.
Plus the king, man.
And put himself on the team. I mean, Devios looked really good, Jeff.
Very in your face, like, fight me. I don't care if you're 2, 3, or 4. I'll take it.
But he's done that on multiple gods. To be saw him on Bologna the games
Saw him
before.
do it on Nox.
Yeah, and that Nox play though yesterday.
Oh my god. But TSM has option, and looks like we're going to run, if possible, all 5 games with TSM running out of the red side, AFK out of the blue, Geb starting off with the ban, likely to see Fenrir, Alkwang, and Ratatosker.
Now, just to remind everybody at home that if you do lose the game, you get option of whether you want first pick or second pick.
That's
AFK
right.
clearly we're like, hey, we're fine with taking this. We're fine with going Geb, Fenrir on the bans probably, and then you're going to go Alkwang, Ratatosker, and we'll just keep running it backwards and backwards.
Now, the only thing I can see switching here is AFK Gaming, instead of going Athena, might go into Opwash.
Do you reckon Alposh was such a big impact in that game?
Boosh
though?
is constantly on death's door, always getting out of situations he didn't really belong in.
You called it.
Ooh. Kiki, so cheap.
It's about time you got something right today for the first time. Oh, DQ. Shut up, DM. No, nothing. Over to the boys of TSM, though, right? And with that, will they take Athena away from Incon and Weaken?
Bologna going to start off. Hard to argue against that. She has done very well, no matter what role she's been put in all tournament, and it will be Athena.
Big one to take away there, Jeff. I mean, you've seen some great play out of AFK.
I've seen great play out of AFK with the Athena. Also, having the Athena Alposh combo is horrifying.
Oh, gosh. I didn't think about that.
Going Sylve into Alposh is not easy to play around, and you see AFK picks it up here.
Sylvana's going to be picked up. I mean, they can pull somebody back into those crypts as well as a potential opportunity for them. One thing you definitely need, though, DM, if you're going to have an Alposh in your team, is plenty of peel.
That's true. Medusa will do well with that, considering the fact that she has one of the most controlling ults from a hunter perspective. Rama going to come back. Snoopy played lights out yesterday. I mean, absolutely
He played
incredible.
lights out that game as well. His Rama is just on another level right now. I think he's probably best Rama in the world.
I would say it's hard to argue against him. I mean, he hit like every single one of those snipes, man. That Astra Barrage accuracy's got to be somewhere between 80 and 90%.
I'm interested in the fact that we've not seen much Freya either. I mean, to be fair, I guess it's more of an EU thing right now. We've seen more Freya's
the EU likes girls with swords.
And Kiki likes girls.
Period. Right.
Makes sense, but this is Alposh. Maybe Alposh is actually female. We just don't realize it.
It's very much possible. We gotta just ask. We gotta ask Drybear. We'll let him make the executive call.
Good call. Sun Wukong though being banned out by AFK Gaming.
Absolutely.
Shot at Devios. That's a big respect. Man.
He's possibly the best solo laner. He's absolutely top 5. Like, he's always a viable threat. Agni going to be locked in for Boosh. Boosh had some pretty good games with this character this weekend. I would like to see him really be a little bit more patient with those ultimates. The one time we saw him play in this set, he was kind of throwing out those bombs very quickly.
Now, with AFK this time, will we see Ymir again? Do you expect Jeff for the jungle, potentially?
I don't think we're going to see the Ymir again. So Weaken played it well. He had a lot of really good walls, but I don't think that's exactly what he wanted. There was a lot of situations where he was getting double DR'd with the taunt, and there just wasn't enough damage.
Good point. But they still need something for peel for the Alposh. What would you look for here, then? It's a rough ask, isn't it?
I mean, I always like Thor.
You like Thor. If in doubt, pick Thor.
Yep.
Well,
when you got someone like Andy on your team, I guess you can do that and be quite comfortable.
Nemesis. Speaking of girls with swords.
Hey, Nemesis, this is a pick that we've not seen for a while, DM. One thing about the meta and the way it is right now, she could actually get towards the late stages of the game and have a real impact.
So we have Osiris and Nemesis being locked in. Thor going to be locked in for the jungle. No one's surprised there.
Because laughing about it, it's like, ha look, it's Thor, told you.
But AFK has put themselves in a position, again, where they have drafted 3 people looking to do nothing but basic attacks, which means items like Midgardian Mail and Frostbound Hammer are very strong. But remember, last time this happened, there was only 2. This time there's 3, which means there's even higher benefit for picking up any item reducing attack speed.
And Devios for a 3rd game on Bologna is going to run back that build he did the last 2 games and make it work out.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to note is Devios and Garz both love Shield of the Underworld. So with this auto attack lineup, it's going to be hard for them.
Plus, if someone uses the Nemesis ult to try to rush down Bellona or Thor, and they use the shield to the underworld, applying all that damage is going to wind up hurting them at least a little bit.
Really feeling a wing blade coming out for TSM here. Look at the slow the opportunities. Crypt supplies are slow. You've also got Nemesis slows, Osiris slows as well on top of that one. Multiple ways that, you know, they can get caught.
You're going to love the wing blade this game if you're on TSM.
And Heavenly Agility too.
And Heavens.
Yeah, Heavenly Agility on both teams is very important here. But remember, Weakening Curse must come out early. We did see Ionic adapt to the Weakening Curse earlier on. It's possible we'll see it again. Sylvanas and Medusa lane, one of the hardest pushing lanes in the game, one of the hardest to deal with before level 5, and then they hit level 5 and they become kill lane.
I mean, team fight-wise, DM, which one are you feeling stronger? I mean, both those teams on paper, when you look at them, looks very even when you come to a big 5v5 fight.
Well, you have Divios' Eagles Rally and Shield Bash. You have Garz' Mjolnir's Attunement. You have Boosh with the Flame Dash. You got Ionic with Preemptive Strike and Snoopy with the Rolling Assault. All these characters have ways out of the crypts, which is very important. If they choose it to be aggressive, Kiki's going to be in a lot of trouble. Look to Allied to really provide that counter initiate if they decide to go through the crypts with that paralyze. Forcing them to turn around is very important.
They have the opportunity to get out, but look at the way to keep them in it. Osiris with the ultimate there from him. On top of that, you've got Incon, roots, as well as pulls back into the engagement. On top of that, Allied with the Petrified, like you just said. There's multiple ways that these two teams could counteract each other.
So you look at all these wards coming out. There are 6 total wards at level 1, a lot more than we usually see. And this is important right now for Garz, considering he has gone into a potion of physical might. Given that with Warrior's Madness, he could add a total of 65 damage at level 1 should he try to invade. But remember, if he does this, he'll be going into a potion of magical might both on Weaken and Cyclone Spin. If he overcommits, if they go for it, there's going to be a death. But it looks like both teams are going to play it safe, and they're going to do their normal metas.
What Cyclone Spin and Weaken both did, they both went back to base to get extra potions as well. Popped it just before they had to get to the lane to make sure they got the blue buff. Kiki was around there as well, DM, just to make sure that nobody tried to invade that opportunity.
Well, Kiki's also going to do the AFK start, getting the 3-man split on the blue. We're going to watch him over on the right side go into the solo lane alone. It looks like they're doing the Paradigm start at the top, which is super high experience.
See, this play from AFK is good, but if they're going to get themselves through to the finals to face Paradigm, and Paradigm realize this is what Cyclone and Weaken are doing with these red pot starts, they're going to get invaded, and this is not going to be a good strategy.
So both mid laners get to mid losing 1 creep apiece, so nothing lost there. You will see, it looks like Garz is going to rotate back to mid lane. A little bit strange that they choose to do this start when they're rotating Garz away so quickly, but he'll gain some experience. Right side camps, of course, going to be going to AFK as they always do. I'm pretty surprised to see Team SoloMid not take the audible to take the right camps, considering they're always available.
Yeah, for the timing. I mean, Cyclone Spin actually going to rotate to the back hop. He's there to take those ones down solo for himself as he did push up the lane. Shooting him with the duel, though. Ionic, looking for some pressure.
Ionic got kind of stopped there. Snoopy dives in, boxing Allied, winning the match. You can see him turn to Incon now. Incon slowed, he's taunted. A lot of damage.
Dead.
Oh, it's possible. Allied's going to start blocking. No more arrows, no more mana. Snoopy will not find the kill just yet. And oh
no, the ball to the tower! Come over here, says Incon, and Ally getting himself first blood. What a turnaround, Jeff!
That was a beautiful pull from Incon. That is worst case going to best case. I'm losing my lane as Sylvanas. Come into my tower.
I mean, I was literally going to turn around and say, Jeff, look at the situation. I mean, the boys just got beat down, and then Incon goes, no, let's turn this on his head.
What's so crazy about it is Snoopy is usually so adamant about keeping his mana and cooldowns under control. Completely even if he had level Rolling Assault, he was dead.
Well, you also should, he dashed in beforehand to pressure Incon out.
Right. Oh, that's right.
That was his mana and that was his cooldown.
Oh, Allied, though, in that fight did well just to body block for his support as well. One of the best things about really good duo lanes together, they will save each other most of the time. And that's the best hunters for me, are the ones that will actually save my life now and again.
You know, we always talk about how kills have reduced gold and reduced experience gains now, and it's not as worth it to try to rush them down. But in the duo lane, having a hunter with a kill versus a hunter without a kill is unbelievably ridiculous.
Oh, take into account Transcendence as well, though, versus the Devour's Gauntlets, Jeff.
Yeah, well, what you're looking at here is Allied has First Blood. He's going to get his Transcendence. Transcendence, you know, base stats are insane, and Snoopy's still Still on rank
Well,
one.
you get that power spike with Transcendence too over the Devourer's Gauntlets,
exactly.
because until the stacks start getting aligned for Devourer's Gauntlets, you're looking for that early aggression.
Oh, wait, Weekend chose to back there, but stopped it. He does have his ultimate Divine Judgment available, and they're just going to spot Ionic. I think that's going to be a wash.
There. Yeah, Ionic saw that one out and just going to... See, we can just immediately back there.
But Weekend has wasted 25 seconds in this jungle, which means Lost Farm. Gars was able to catch up.
I mean, there was only back Harpies on the right available to him, I guess. It's not missing too much. Left Harpies due to spawn soon, though.
That's right, and with that, you can see Gars starting to make his rotation
As
down.
his allied.
They're going to be spawning here in about 5 seconds.
Well, Ally was looking like he was going to rotate, but he's just going to go back to base. Boosh is the one in position for the left Harpies. Incon might come over to contest, but he's going to be a little bit too late.
Wow, that damage was real high.
Went down really quick. What's it like, Jeff, when you're not like 3 minutes are up? Are we going to go for mid Harpies? Oh, wait, we don't know when they're going to spawn.
Well, I think that Incon, he probably knew or had an idea, and he was just the only one who kind of did, right?
Yeah, everybody else out of position.
Yeah.
I think because all you guys were probably in the pro scene, you were like, okay, this is the meta. 3 minutes in, you all back at 2:45. We go in and we fight.
Check this out. Weekend recognizes the rotation. Gonna go for the steal on the blue. Divios trying to control this. He's taking some damage. Slice and Dice is available.
Cyclone's coming.
Doesn't get it.
Cyclone is coming, though, and the buff is still up for the time being at the moment. Are they going to be able to get the blue buff? It does fall down. Don't know who to, but I know Devious is in trouble. Going to have the Eagles really soon. There we see.
It went to Cyclone Spin. He picked it back up, so that's going to be a small win there. Plus, they got the ultimate from Gars. A little strange to see Cyclone Spin not go for the ultimate there.
But they do get the right on Harpies here as well, so it's not it's a small win for them, Jeff.
I actually think it's bigger than you think,
wow.
because you got the Athena ult, and when Athena ult is off the map, that takes off.
Well, Incon's here as well. Somehow he was able to rotate in line with this. Kiki, though, we should note the mana is very low. Boo should be communicating this at this point, saying we can either kill him or we can force something.
Look at what Weekend did, though. He went to the fight on the right-hand side, got the blue buff, got mid-Harpies, straight on the left-hand side, Incon's the other side of the map, can't interfere, and guess what? Snoopy, watch your back!
Yeah, and he does. I mean, look how far back he was. Allied will be able to push him away from this. Snoopy has to be very, very careful here. If he steps out of position, he could wind up falling again, and he cannot afford to go back to the base here until he's ready.
Really important for rotations from junglers, though, Jeff. I mean, that was just a prime example of what Weekend did right.
It's great when you have a jungler that, like, when the jungle has successful pressure in the lane. It doesn't have to be a kill. It's just they come in and it's like, I can't do anything here.
Well, talk about not doing anything. Devious is really having a bad time of this one, Brandon.
Look at the way that Cyclone Spin separated himself here. Divios will have to use Eagles Rally. He's going to chase it down. I don't know if it's going to... Oh, he didn't break. He has to jump over the wall. He's going to go towards the base.
He's out.
Sickle. No, not going to hit.
He's out. He's out. Lord of the Underworld had to hit there. Yeah. Sorry, overall to Lord of the Afterlife rally. If that connected, he was dead.
The sickle, if it hit, he would have been able to follow it up. The slow is big enough.
Yeah, the slow would have hit. The slow would have been big enough, but he didn't manage to land either of those two things. Devios lives.
And that's the reason he did is because this is Divios' character.
Oh,
he knew
Boosh.
exactly what he needed to do. Oh my god.
And Degar's going to turn up for this one. Cyclone, you've not got an ultimate to escape this one. Welcome to the new meta, Sunshine. People in solo.
Snoopy would have went high there. He would have went into the jungle, but Cyclone chose to go back down towards his base, spending the entire time in Path of Flames.
So 1-1 is the scoreline now. Allied found that first blood, and because of that AFK, and the Invades have found that established themselves a decent gold lead right now as we tune in with the mid lane. But that pick onto Cyclone gives TSM some hope.
Yeah, they really needed to answer back there. They can't afford to fall behind early. AFK is known to do very, very well with leads. For me, again, I'm always looking at Gars for this. His ults have got to be on point. His rotations have got to be strong. We're in the part of the game where Thor is really going to start to come online. Level 7 through level 13 is where he really shines.
And Incon going to throw a ward over the wall there by the looks of it as the mid-Harpies are pulled. They're aware of Incon's presence though, as you see the double tap from Degar's come out there. Bomb on the backside catches Allied in a bit of an awkward position there, but he does get some support from Kiki, and there's the Crips.
Divios is completely out of position. It's up to
Snoopy.
Snoopy. No, Allied. I thought he had it too. We're going to see Incon get very low here. Boosh looking for the flame wave. No, they'll find it with Ionix, Defender of Olympus.
Yeah, Incon does come in nicely there, and now Degar's does find the chain, and it's going to be brought down as Allied does work onto Incon. Over
Snoopy's
the wall comes Cyclone. Snoopy's trying to box down two meaty frontliners.
After missing that ult onto Allied, it was all coming down to the rolling assault. He used it prematurely. Cyclone hit the slow, and now the gold theory's going to go. Down to the graphs, we're going to check out AFK looking for their big lead.
As you can see, Bush getting zoned out. There's the experience lead, 1100, 2.2k gold. Jeff, what went wrong for TSM?
The fight was just played so well by AFK. Allied stayed alive for so long that entire time, and Yeah, he turned the last second threw his Petrify out. I mean,
he was like he was a front liner for a second. I was like, Allied, you are out of position. But somehow he just knew that he'd have the backup of his team. It worked out well, DM.
I mean, Allied, it was a 50% skill, 50% luck there.
I agree.
I mean, when it comes down to Rama ult, there's always a little bit of luck involved. You can aim the shot as well as you want, but if your opponent strafes in the way that you don't guess, it's rock, paper, scissors. That time, Allied threw paper, Snoopy threw paper. It was a wash, but Allied was able to throw a big rock out at the end there by staying alive, helping the team, and then when Snoopy got caught, what can you do?
I tell you what, I think that's the first time we've actually seen Snoopy miss on tournament.
Yeah,
that's the first one.
Definitely close.
After all the games we've seen him play so far, that's the first one. You can't complain too much about that one. What's the last one as well as Allied takes down this purple buff currently
Wait a second.
Sat at 2-0-1.
Snoopy missed it on purpose because we called him out on cheating before.
Oh.
You can't trick me, Canadian.
Oh. Jeez. Did you call him? Is he Canadian?
Yeah, him and Jeff live really close to each other.
That's not true.
Are you sure?
Positive.
I heard all the stories.
What a day. Divios and Cyclone Spin going even here, but you can notice Cyclone Spin with an advantage 2-1-2.
I don't think this is really even. Cyclone's winning this lane from my point of view. The ways this has gone on, Cyclone's forcing Divios away out of the lane. I mean, Jeff, do you see it differently?
No, I completely agree. I think Cyclone just has a lead, and especially with that fight, it's really hard for TSM to fight, a Sylvanas, a Medusa, and Osiris from beyond.
I really like the build differences here, too, because we're going to get a Rune Forge... I'm sorry, not a Rune Forge Hammer. We're going to get a Frostband Hammer versus the Iqbal. So it's going to wind up just completely trading out. Damage into the health versus damage reduction into the attack speed.
Is it Frostbound, though? I mean, would he potentially... Why would he go Frostbound on Osiris? Would it be something else? Maybe...
attack speed slowing Bologna when she's going to be building into stat gains, I think is very important.
I guess. I mean, but I was thinking maybe he'd go for the Runeforged Hammer. Would not be the option?
I'm sorry, was that a hammer before, or did he sell his short bow?
It was a short bow. He sold it. It was short bow.
Whoa. So that's a 200 gold loss right there. So, guys, whenever you see Divios' net worth, subtract 200 for that sale.
But then again, when you see that, take into account the Cyclone Spin started with that a potion of might at the beginning of the game.
That's true.
450 gold,
That's
isn't it?
That's true.
So, in the grand scheme of things, still Divios is ahead 200 gold. He knew that beforehand, DM. Sit down, son.
And now they're even gold, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It's all good.
So, you're saying the lane is even, and you were wrong before.
No, they're even in gold. I never said the lane was even. There's a differential there, DM. Don't twist my words, sunshine.
Statements.
Objection. Overruled. Left Harpy's due to spawn soon. Not flashing just yet, but
Jeff, this is why we don't use the metric system.
This is why me and DM don't cast together, because we just argue all the time. That's the issue. There comes a top from Incon onto the boy. Sorry, Incon getting torn onto by Ionic Rare there was what I should be saying. Rafatero was forced as well. Weaken on the front side. Allied and Snoopy having a fight, and this time Allied's the one giving the brawl to Snoopy.
He's
got to keep going.
Snoopy's going to have to do something here. No, look at the rotation from TSM.
Presence of mind by Snoopy there, realizing there was no more follow-up, Jeff.
Yeah, that was great. I think Allied should have maybe pursued it a little bit, and because he turned around, right? He left and then came back to it, but yeah, Snoopy just decided it was okay.
If you're going to commit, you should commit fully, and that was one of the situations where Allied just didn't think about it. But in the jungle again, Boosh trying to look on Incon here as Weakens, looking for Divios.
Eagles rally right to the backline, chasing Kiki down. We're going to see him get slowed. Bludgeon plus Defender of Olympus finds it and empties the crypts entirely.
The crypts are completely empty as Boosh is not empty of bombs, as he does find one onto the back of Incon's head. Cyclone is here though, and Osiris' Terror reduces damage done by the whole team. Weaken on the front line looking for Boosh. Now the Path of Flames is down, and Boosh will fall down, but the Gauze is trying to make it worthwhile.
Look at Allied though, blinking over the wall is Incon as well.
What a route!
Are you kidding me? He stopped the bludgeon from going off. Well, rather hitting Allied. I mean, Incon, how does he think of these things?
He could just realize that he could just throw the route there. He's like, I'm out, I'm safe. And you always look at that for support. Should I go in? Should I stay out? Should I go back in?
Yeah, absolutely. So with most of the support kits, even if you have enough mana for 1 to 2 spells, you want to stay around, and you can't get it back and come in. You want to stay around the edges of the fights.
Hope for the best.
And root. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you can save the day.
So you can blink in and root like that.
And that's exactly what Incon just did. Great play from him, accelerating AFK into a position once again. Bring up the gold grass for us, please. We should see, once again, a small continuation of this lead, DM.
Yeah, 2,500 gold. We got 2,800 experience. AFK still using it well. I think the big difference here is Allied now 2 levels ahead of Snoopy. We haven't seen this level of control coming out from the dual lane just yet.
Well, we talked about Snoopy a lot in that last game. This time round, though, Allied's back on it again, it feels. It looks like he stepped up 2-0-2 in this lane.
Honestly, I don't think Allied was on it as much as Incon's hot 180 MLG no-scope pull.
That pull could have potentially just swung that whole lane completely. It did.
It did.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely did.
Because they were drastically losing before that.
And I mean, it comes down to getting that Transcendence online like 3 minutes earlier. Like, wow.
Because now you can see that Snoopy's slowly going to get on 59 stacks on this Devour's Gauntlets. So he's got about another 15 left to go. So it's fully stacked. Well, 16 technically, but hey, who's counting?
So 6-3 right now as we're going to see Divios try to move in against Cyclone Spin again. Cyclone Spin having some trouble holding this down. Both players going into that Rune Forge Hammer. They're trying to wash out the damage.
I actually think the switch from Divios might be worthwhile there. I generally try and teach new players, if they ever ask, not to sell items ever.
Right.
If you make a mistake with an item, just leave it there, move on. You don't want to waste gold because you don't get the same value when you sell the item. But I think the fact that he rushed his Rune Forge quicker than Cyclone Spin could get it on DM, it's paying off for him.
Plus, he doesn't need the Iqbal anymore. In the end game, it's not going to give him enough benefit to where he really needed to rush.
Exactly. I mean, Iqbal got changed as well. We see it still get used, but it's still not as effective. It will get sold eventually anyway.
Look at this. Cyclone Spin's tower gets taken down. Tether already used here. Taunt coming in from Ionic. Cyclone Spin could be in some trouble. We're going to be looking at the Lord of the Afterlife, but Eagles Valley can chase it very well.
He's fine. Notice how he didn't panic there. He stayed around, hung it. What's the rest of the AFK doing, though? They're looking for the Gold Fury here. Mid-hoppies are up. The boys of TSM should know something's up because Cyclone is still being engaged on this right-hand side. And Ionic has ultimate, though. They could try to reinitiate.
I don't think they have a line to it. At this point, Snoopy's not rotating fast enough. Kiki's doing mid-camps. No one seems like they're even going to make a shot. I would have liked to see Snoopy take to the sky here and use it as a ward. He might have been able to out-snipe it. Yeah.
Well, he's going to swing around. Find out he's just gone down, and Allied is there. Allied's going to trade off with him here, and immediately Snoopy backs away.
As he should. I mean, he didn't get the better of that trade. Remember, Allied was tanking the Gold Fury for the most of that damage.
What a good call, though, coming out from them.
I thought that was a great call. So when you see, 2 or 3 people on the other side of the map, or on one side of the map, you always look for a play on the other side of the map. It's
Praise
very
be.
simple, and they did great.
But the thing is, Ionic had ultimate up there as well. I guess TSM should have known that was going on, right? I mean, you would expect that.
You would expect it, but sometimes
she's like, let it go.
Yeah, let it go. We're not in position, or everyone can't be there. It's okay.
So for everyone in my ranked games, don't rotate to the solo lane, right? Right,
That's
Jeff?
not true at all.
Jeff, come on, man.
Jeff, if you guys DM, rotate because it's free. It's free.
I mean, I've seen some games.
I've seen some games.
Come on.
It never ends, my friend. 15 minutes in, though, Gold Fury does go over for the second time, I believe, this game. Was it the first one?
That was the second Gold Fury for AFK. In fact, let's take a look at the graphs. Ooh, clumsy death so quick.
Look at that jump up. 3.2k gold, 3.5k experience. And AFK Gaming, this time round, they've got a decent lead throughout this one, and it doesn't look like he's going away, Diam.
Look at Cyclone Spin right now, tanking the creeps, fighting Divios. Divios smart, backing off there to break the tether, increasing the amount of damage he can do, sticking to him, but no Frostbound Hammer, so he's unable to stick to him completely. Cyclone trying to answer back, though. Bludgeon will hit.
Will hit, and the fight's still going to continue. Look at the rotation, though, in the jungle. Both sets of teams are coming in. Guess who is here first? Weekend is here, but so is Ionic. And it's actually Divios who's trying to run away. Incon has turned up as well, as is the Gauze, as has the Crips.
Cyclone Spin's alive, and
the Gauze is not.
Wow, I can't believe that turnaround just happened so quickly. Ionic in a lot of trouble here. Slice and dice for the slow. Rooted, no flame's going to help you there. Kiki so cheeky with the kill.
Find a double kill, but what else did they get off this one? I mean, they can't really can they push the tower here? Jungle is available, though, Jeff. They can get away that blue, at least.
They can definitely take the blue. I think they can pressure the tower, and then, you see if you can get it, but yes, the blue for sure. I am shocked at how that fight turned out.
It was crazy because everyone rotated. I mean, you saw Cyclone and Divios continue the bait throughout the whole fight. Divios survived.
Whoa, look at this. Boosh getting chased down. Ionic, Incon gonna find the pull. Divios with the slows.
Round the
tower
back.
has taken some damage, but not a lot. Yeah,
doesn't manage to find the slice and dice, though. He's gonna have to retreat back. Pops the sprint preemptively to rotate back to position. They're not gonna find the tower, Diam.
Well, Snoopy started gesturing towards the right side of the map. This is gonna give Allied free farm. possibly even a tier 1. I don't know if he has the damage just yet.
Oh, he's at full health. There's a full minion wave. He's not got ward vision there either, dear. He can't really overextend too much.
If there's a Guardian minion in the left lane at that tower, he's not going to lose too much. If there's not a Guardian, he's likely to lose 3 creeps.
3 creeps. Left Harpies due to spawn, though. Already TSM in position for those ones. So we tune in. We should be able to see boosters of the corner of your eye with the Gauze picking that one up. Right ones should be up in about 30 seconds time.
Allied coming back to lane here. I really thought TSM was going to rotate to the left off those mid Harpies. He is alone right now. They have most eyes in the mid lane. You can see everyone on the map at this point. They should be using this to their advantage. Not everyone on TSM is visible.
I'm watching the mini-map, right? When we're not looking at solo lane, the icon of Bellona and Osiris are on top of each other 24/7. These two are just beating the crap out of each other all game.
And yet the health bars don't move.
Look at the player damage. There you can see it. Look at the damage. Top 2. I wonder, wow, look at all that damage you did. Wow, you guys are so good. No, we just both can't die.
All right, so Jeff, we're about 17 minutes into this game here. Gold Fury's down. Jungle's been stripped. Let's take it from AFK's perspective. What's Incon looking to do here?
Really what Incon's looking to do is they're looking for Blink ult and, combo with Nem out Posh. Those are their pick, but like that's how they pick, right? Or they're kind of waiting for gold.
Look at the build coming out from Ionic. Heavenly Agility, Weakening Curse.
Weakening Curse.
Yeah, man.
And across the way, though, I mean, talking about Incon's actually gone for the Enfeebling Curse. One of the items we've not seen so often because generally healers and Hog is more important, but Enfeebling Curse very good against auto attackers.
Well, there's not much healing on the board, right? We have Bellona with the regeneration from Scourge. Oh, I'm sorry, is that a Nemean Lion? Weaken? Hello? Does Weaken not remember the last time he built this item?
Well, he's 1-0-5 right now, and he's in the semifinals up 2-1 to TSM.
That's
we cannot argue with him just yet, my friend.
That's true.
If he loses the game and the set, then we will give him pain.
But he's got the Ickfall online. He has a lot of potential. And remember, he will be reflecting damage whilst in Retribution, whilst the Height of the Nemean Lion sending back damage as well. So he is the perfect
It's a double
counter
stack.
right now.
Imagine if he had Children of the Underworld too. Ooh.
Oh, that could be
could.
dangerous.
Oh.
But what they're going to be looking to do is Weaken wants to go in there, use Retribution. Once it's off, that's when we want to see the Enfeebling Curse go off on the side of AFK. If he does it any earlier, they'll be kind of stagnating a little bit of their damage.
Weaken has to dash away there as they pressure the mid lane to AFK game, and they feel they can group up here using Kiki for the zone and Allied. Max Rage going to bring it down. Snoopy, though, does manage to get a wave in there, but has to quickly back before the rotation comes
If Snoopy
out.
is seen backing here, it could be trouble for TSM with the Gold Fury being up, but Weaken's going to see it. Now, Height of the Nemean Lion's going to do well here.
Snoopy. They do catch him. Incon's looking potentially for a root pull combination. The root did go down into the Gauze, just stop the chase, but now
4v2.
it's Incon stuck in a bad position, has to Wrath of Terror, but he's really low on life, and that bomb from Boost might be the killer. No, it won't. It'll be Snoopy.
He aims down at Weaken. Retribution will send damage back his way. Weaken double dashing out of there. It looks like we're going to have a 4v5 advantage here for TSM. Eagles rally off the mark.
Off the mark, unusual for that, but there's a good top from Ionic once again. Allied is going to fall down to Devios as the crypts have been emptied here, but is it doing much? He's only slowing Ionic down for a second. Devios up against Cyclone Spin and Weaken. He can't box them both out even with a shield available.
Oh, Ionic's getting chased down here. Kiki So Cheeky going to find that fleeting breath, increasing his health pool by picking up the corpse. We're not going to see the explosion there. Overall, it's 2-for-1
Weaken, though.
in favor of AFK.
It's not over. Weaken coming around the back as Boost
here.
is trying to bring down Cyclone Spin, who's very, very tanky. Weaken with the shield going to heal himself up based off it. Snoopy should be able to fight Weaken. The cycle goes too deep, too soon, and Weaken going to get out, but the Gauze is going up.
He's going to find it. I think he's going to find it. Oh, a lot of trouble. Stunned out and destroyed. Weaken falls.
He's got a hammer. Can he jump onto him? He's got him. The Berserker Barrage fires a double. The Gauze, the Thor of Thors, is actually showing we can really do once again.
That right there was the return of Garce. That
Completely
was the
agree.
return of
Is this the return of TSM?
Thor. The return.
Devios is looking good.
Man.
Gauze is looking good. Snoopy's looking amazing. Ionic with the plays of the taunts there, Jeff.
His taunts have been on point this game. They've been absolutely beautiful.
Incon trying to fight his way in here. 4 people. Snoopy getting very low. Good stun. Defender of Olympus. Gold Fury still available. 25 health in execute range there in the old patch, but not quite 3%. TSM takes it.
TSM take it and actually close the goal lead. It's not enough, though, DM, to take the lead in this game. Incon going to do the Harpies, but you can see it's coming back down, but still AFK have control of this game.
You know, it comes down to Weekend really overcommitting. When he saw himself get spotted by the person at tier 2, he should have disengaged. Cyclone dove super deep, got a little bit too greedy, gets caught. Weekend unable to get out. Gars with the perfect ultimate, finding both, and then the double tap Mjolnir's attunement teleport into Berserkers was sick.
When you play team fights, Jeff, and you see those situations where some of the players seem to think that they can get more out of this one, is it normally like a situation where one person would make a call, say on Cloud 9, and be like, all disengage? Or is it just like how you feel, finish it off?
Well, generally there's going to be a call, and you stick to that call as well as you can. If you're going to deviate from a call and dive tier 2, you call it and say, I'm going for this.
I'm going in. And I guess most of the time you got Cyclone.
Destroyed. Snoopy popping that too. Huge amount of attack speed gain, but Incon with the turnaround. Allied's getting super low. Aegis going to do a lot there, but he still gets picked off.
The third snipe did connect, and it's going to be Degas that finds a good blink from Incon to avoid that bomb from Boosh. Cyclone over on the right-hand side, though, may find a tier 1 in response here, but is it really that worthwhile for the just one death of Allied? There's still a fight in the jungle, and Weekend needs to watch himself because they're swinging for the left-hand tower.
For me, I think Allied's getting himself in trouble with this Fatalis because the movement isn't helping him. If he had more damage, the turnaround potential might be bigger, but Allied has not used this Fatalis 2 games in a row now.
Well, he had a great start to this game, especially after the very, very first moment of the game, but right now, the boys of AFK are struggling a little bit here, going to lose a little bit of gold for the tier 1, cancelled out by the tier 1 that Cyclone just took in the right-hand lane, but Team SoloMid, they're starting to try and get an objective after they win a fight.
By the way, I would like to point out how cool Kiki's play was there. While I don't personally agree with the blink, he threw the 1, and before it put him in combat, he blinks away. Very smart.
Very cheeky.
Stop. That's mine.
He is cheeky. But he's not female right now. Or maybe he is. We need to ask Rory still. That's one thing to find out. 23 minutes in, 10-9. Gold lead, marginal. Experience, marginal. 2-1, though, is the big standpoint in this for AFK Gaming. If they win this game, they will go on to the finals to face unlikely, as they called themselves, overdogs now, Paradigm. That's what Drake's quoted himself as today. We're not the underdogs, but today we're the overdogs.
I'm looking at Allied and Snoopy here. Snoopy, level 19, has found not only a way back into this game, but overall it looks like the lead in experience. Although he's behind by 400 gold, anyone would consider that negligible at this stage.
How are you feeling about Incon's play so far in Sylvanas? The last 2 games I've seen him, I don't think it's really worked as well as we've seen it on Overgod. I mean, the pull was great at the start, but other than that...
I think he's been playing really well. I think Incon's maybe taking the fights too soon. And his team's just not ready for, his Wrath of Terror.
He's getting caught a lot.
But I don't know if it's necessarily him getting caught, because we saw Allied was the one who extended. He rotates in. Allied gets out, and then Incon's like, guys!
Weekend Swift Vengeance is down. He has no dash right now. Stunned out by Gars. Damage.
Bomb.
Ooh, that retribution
Big
shield
bomb
is good.
from Boost destroys Weekend. Gars is going up. Who's he looking for on the backside? Kiki. No, he misses it. The snipes, though. They don't. Snoopy finding most of them, and Divio secures the kill on the back of that. Incon with a good pull, but it's not going to be enough. In the jungle, they're chasing for Cyclone. Actually, it's a lie. Cyclone's chasing for them.
Yeah, Cyclone actually going to find... No, he's not going to go for Yannick. Yannick jukes him completely. Tether not going to be strong enough here. He's reducing damage. He's trying to control for his team long enough to get there, but it's not going to be enough. Divios able to escape, and somehow everyone on TSM gets out of that fight cleanly.
They do get out cleanly. They took a bit of damage, but Allied and Incon now have the threat of the Fire Giant up against them. It looks like TSM are aware of that, though. They're going to go and push the tier 1 tower in mid lane.
Smart.
Is this the best call here, Jeff?
Yeah, I like the tier 1 tower, maybe into tier 2. It's so risky to go to fire now, right?
Well, no hog, no secure. Allied hits a petrified, and you all die, and Incon hits a taunt. Wait a minute, he's not playing Athena this team, boys.
Now, this is trouble for Incon. He doesn't have a way out of this. Eagles Rally going to be used for the protections, not the stun. Very smart. Tier 2 going to fall. That's another 2,000 gold. Back to the graphs.
And there you go, Jeff. You were just saying tier 1, potentially tier 2. 300 gold off the tier 2, 100 gold each off the tier 1. Not a bad margin of error there.
It's looking great. And right now, it's looking very good for TSM. Divios is diving Kiki every single time.
For free.
And with Snoopy going in the air, there's no way out.
I mean, this is the first time we've seen TSM come back from a deficit against AFK Gaming.
Yeah.
It's normally been AFK these games so far that have been the ones behind and pulled it back.
I mean, that's what AFK has always done, right? They're the team that has probably the best defense worldwide right now. They know how to play the best from behind. It's always been their MO. For this team, SoloMid looks like they're playing a completely different game than they played during the split. They are focusing more on fundamentals and less on these crazy plays. They're allowing Divios to dive deep. Ionic is properly following up in the backline instead of being the initiator, and they're finally protecting Boosh.
TSM finally starting to find the ways of old that we've seen out of them time and time before. Maybe the lull is starting to fade to the side, just like Paradigms is beginning to fade to the side too. Both regions having these sort of teams that have not had great seasons so far, but maybe the LAN is just going to start shining through for them.
Gold Fury is important here. The small lead that TSM has will really start to shine if they can get this Gold Fury, which currently is at its maximum gold efficiency. Weekend right now taking a lot. Retribution not going to give him a lot in return. Ionic taking a lot himself, but he can back and heal himself for free.
Cyclone did get a bit of poke onto Dagaz there, but he'll be okay for now. And everyone's just going to reset as the ward wars continue around this Gold Fury. Hopefully we can have a little listen in here to the comms of AFK Gaming as the Gold Fury is now being hit.
That's her down.
Yep.
I'm disarmed. Watch out.
They're going in. Yep.
I'm ulting.
Looking for Agni.
Looking
on the back line. I'm on Agni.
More beads.
Help me. I'm good. I feel like Ram ulted. Ram in there. I'm weakening them. They're all in half. Ram's a bit full.
I'm out.
Nice. They're gone. His hammer's down.
Help me.
Okay, they're chasing me.
They're gonna go gold. I beat her down.
They're taking red. I'm life stealing off back harpies.
Can we...
I'm back up to healthy.
Yeah.
Can we go on throw? Alright, hits his hammer over.
Athena's backing.
Oh, Athena's low.
I'm here.
I stopped her from back.
Toggle.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Agni's dead. Thor all down.
Okay.
Ram all down.
She's coming.
Okay, if you get anything.
That's his wing blade. Push wing blade.
I'm not back up yet.
Oh, villain in the back.
Low to back. Up ally. Nice. That's Thor wall down.
I'm low again.
Rama rolled in. Can we turn on Rama?
Rama dashed.
Belona killed me.
Floater's on me.
Sleepy's really low. Sleepy's really low.
Throw in there.
He's
Go
so
on
low.
him.
He's gonna get Kiki out.
Damn, that sucks.
I got him. Killed him. Nice. I'm coming.
Really low.
She's just beating on
You
me.
got Sylvanas there.
Rooting?
Oh, wait, no, yeah, you got Sylvanas in the back. Healing.
I killed Athena.
Agni's gotta be here. We need to be careful.
Watch out, boy.
Gotta go.
Just heal up. I'm up soon. Snoopy did die, so that was good. This Belona's ruining my life. Very.
Snoopy killed himself on the Nemean line.
Help me, help me, please. Help me, please. Come on. I'm life stealing. Can we go far?
Anyone who thinks
I love
Allied
Allied.
isn't the most adorable smite player.
I love Allied.
Like, come on.
What a crazy fight out. Did you hear the end of that as well? Allied just says, Below is just ruining my life.
Dude, the thing that I took away the most was the Nemean Lion came into play actually killing Snoopy.
Yeah, and Snoopy actually played really well at that point. He rolled away, just got away from the sickle coming out from Cyclone, and a wall from Dagaz and Superman. Hit Weaken and died to it.
I bet. I almost wish that we were listening to TSM's comms instead, because Snoopy's going to be like, all right, I'm out. Oh, wait, why am I dead?
Why did I die?
What just happened?
Oh.
Oh my god, I died to that stupid item.
And just to point out that if AFK win based off that, they're Weaken's going to turn and he's like, CDM, I knew what I was doing.
Yeah, right?
Knew what I was doing. Told you to be
have
quiet.
that doo-doo talk for months.
Doo-doo talk. 30 minutes in, though, 16-13, Gold Fury is still going to stand. But that fight went backwards and forwards for the most part.
Yeah, it did. I love listening to the comments because you can hear the communications and like when Allied says help me, that obviously you should be turning around and peeling for him and making sure you get the proper
And you could
heals.
see that in the game that they did peel for him, and the moment he was out, he was like, I'm out. And the rest of the team continued initiating. But you can see that the roles DM as well of like who's doing what, because Cyclone, the call was to help Allied according to Allied, but Cyclone was like, no, my job is zone. My job is pressure.
Right, and that's what he should have done. He stuck to his role. He let the rest of the team peel, and they did it well. Right now, though, I'm looking at the Midgardian males coming out. There's 2 on the side of TSM, plus the Frostbound Hammer. Allied looking for the Paralyze.
Of course he is, every single time. Wall comes out from Dagaz, doesn't get found. Beads on Allied, though, he's big, and already Allied chunked way below half. Dagaz is in the scanner. Allied's got to watch himself. Snipes up from Snoopy, too. He finds one. Doesn't find the second one. Aegis is going to stop the third one here, but Allied is still dead.
Gars might pay for this, though. Double tap not going to hit Kiki, but he's inside the Path of Flames, guaranteed to fall. So far, a 1 for 2, but they're still going. Oh, Oh, but that weakening curse, I don't know if it's going to be enough. Still healing. Cyclone going super deep. The rolling assault able to get away.
Snoopy's positioning is perfect. He's staying at max range to keep it away from Cyclone, but coming right back in when the opportunity is prime.
Weaken has no way to control this. They must go back. They must give this Gold Fury up. They just lost about 1,000 gold there. It's going to be another 1,750.
And they made the right call, Jeff.
The major differences in these fights is Allied is getting focused so hard, and you see Snoopy just sitting there being able to free cast the whole time.
Well, the big thing, though, is that there's 4 people doing the Gold Fury, and the only way to protect it with Allied being there was to threaten the Paralyzed. So they're like, hey, he's front and center. Let's be front and center ourselves.
So, looking towards late game now, obviously with 35 minutes in, sorry, 31 minutes in, we're getting towards that. Late game compositions, are we feeling the Nemesis still here? Because, like, Nemesis around now is where she can, like, almost two-shot people.
Girls with swords. I'm on board.
Girls with swords.
Girls with swords. I'm always on board.
Athena has a spear. Does that count?
I don't know about the Witchblade, though. Given the fact that he wants people to hit into his Nemean line, slowing the attack speed seems a little detrimental to that. But reducing the power seems a little bit detrimental. Are you criticizing his build again? We just saw the Nemean line work there, DM. How very dare you? Again, someone from the duo lane, though, completely out of position. He's trying for it. He's going to use Heavenly Agility. Though in the back line, Snoopy gets caught. This is a lot of trouble.
It is a lot of trouble. And look who just got pulled into danger. Devios is there. Eagles rally plus the protections from Ionic will help him out. But Kiki finds Devios as Weaken is trying to survive as long as he can.
He's going to get picked off there. Good damage coming out, though, from, looks like Kiki does not get the corpse explosion. Picks up a lot of health regen, though. Boosh, very low. Gar's trying to get away here. He needs to hit the sickle.
Cyclone does use the nice use of the weakening curse there to keep the Gar's pinned in. He's trying to do what damage he can. Jumps to the hammer after the wall. But guess who blinks into danger? Incon, the #1 support for kills.
There was nowhere to go. We're all looking at Ionic here. He has to try to find a way to stop the Fire Giant attempt. He has a decent amount of health. He's probably sitting around close to 2,000 at this point.
In Ionic we trust, in Athena we trust. We saw it in Game 1. Will we see it again in Game 4? This, they have to try and sustain it. Boosh on the way back too. Cyclone on zone in duty. Fire Giant, 30% HP. Ionic, way below 30% HP.
No,
but Boosh is here.
Ally took a lot of damage from the knockup. Boosh forced away. They've reset the Fire Giant. Look at Cyclone spin in the back line. Let's follow along with the fight. Boosh doesn't really have a way out of this. And damage, destruction.
As the Fire Giant goes down, Devios comes in, but Devios, he'll get Incon. Will he get Incon? No, he won't get Incon. Incon bravely run away, son. Crypts are empty. Devios, you may have a bludgeon, my friend, but no! Incon's for Snoopy!
Got one, got two, got three! Snoopy finds a kill with the double, but isn't enough. The Fire Giant still gets taken. AFK able to turn this one around, and to the graphs we go.
The aimbot comes back out from Snoopy towards that engagement, but Jeff, what a great Fire Giant fight.
Oh, that was an amazing fight. It was such a long fight, and it started at the back blue, and it just pushed forward and forward.
Push forward. I mean, we saw the control from AFK around it as well, right? The Fire Giant, we saw Cyclone was already out Ionic, did great work there, and then continued on to Boosh.
Well, did you see the secret? Did you see the little secret? They made Guardian Mail first tick on the auto attack. The first one that Devios did slowed him long enough to get him out of position. Just long enough for his team to pick up the kill on the Big D.
Absolutely. Big D?
It's Big D. It's Big Devios.
Big Devios.
Big Devios.
Man-mounted baby Devios.
He's a huge baby.
He's huge!
He's a huge baby.
He's huge!
He is basically Vamana.
I'm scared when he hits 80, he's going to kill us all.
What is that? Hello?
Lag?
Hi. So Gold Fury coming back up in a few minutes here, about a minute and a half.
There's a good thing about that Fire Giant, though, is the fact that because it happened, TSM did manage to get it off most of the members of AFK, though. There's only on Kiki and Allied, but wait a second. That's Kiki and Allied with it.
That's right. Allied probably the most important person to have it here. The regen, of course, is important, but you want to get that tower damage. That's the biggest part of it. Being able to siege down these structures and putting it on the character who's going to do the most damage inherently is brilliant. So if they're going to have it on any two, these two are not bad picks.
Not a surprise to see the swing to the left-hand side. Most teams just head this way just because of Fire Giant, right? Jeff, like, is it across the other side of the map?
Well, it's across the other side of the map. Also, if you get this Phoenix, it's the hardest to defend against next fire.
Oh, because they're all across the other side, basically, yeah. I mean, we generally expect that for the most part. Tier 1 goes down, though, and you can see once again, I love the way AFK...
Whoa.
Oh, Oh, a bit of engagement there. What did Ionic do?
He got the Magi's.
Okay.
He got the Magi's. That could help. Ionic. Oh, my Lord!
Well, he just got beads there on Snoopy, and that's a big one, a Cyclone. And we can trade out in the jungle with Devios a little bit, but Snoopy's beads, that's going to be big.
They have Heavenly Agility still available here on Nemesis. Incon, beautiful play there. Shell going to be used. They go right to the back line, and they're looking to close this one out.
Incon tanking up the front line, still getting hit by the tower. Snoopy's does hit on to Kiki, so cheeky, but he's still full health. The Gauze coming back down to zone for his teammate there. Devios is in a lot of trouble, but Ionic on the backside does find Weaken, who went a little bit too deep.
Yeah, look at this. Another big kill. Taking down Weaken is huge. Plus, they don't lose anyone in the process. Incon takes a lot of damage. And, oh, the teleport is going to be massive.
Instant disengage coming out from the boys of AFK, but Cyclone in the jungle. He walks through the walls.
One of the most underrated abilities in the game right there.
Oh, so it's Tether too, but Degas is still feeling himself. He's going to continue the chase. Wall, you might walk through that one. Have to use the ultimate to get away, but Ionic's not done yet. Going to find the taunt, but immediately has to back away because the Tether's done.
So you know what's great there is he throws at the Spirit Flail onto the Gold Fury, and a lot of you guys might be wondering why, because Osiris has a lot of parts of his kit that might be a little bit confusing, like how he can walk through walls. But when you hit Spirit Flail, he gains movement speed, which is very important. That's insane knowledge of character on a character we don't even see him play all that much.
And Jeff, with that fight there as well, we just saw the defense of the tier 2 tower. It worked out great for them. We can overextend it a little bit.
I think we can overextend it a little bit, and it's partially because the fight got so split. Allied was in the jungle along with Cyclone, and so was Garz and Devios, but it was just a very split fight.
It was crazy all over because AFK likes to control that jungle. They realized the danger that Devios, because Devios is one of those that likes to hang around there.
Devios ulted over the fight to start there, well, in the beginning of the fight.
And then goes out of the fight, teleports back into it again, just forcing the disengage. I think that was a great play for them, and TSM actually have the gold lead now. Well, they've had it for a while still, but
that's true.
The Gold Fury went down then as well. It's a maximum gold that you can actually get from that now. But we're hitting full builds anyway, so gold experience, 37 minutes, they don't matter. It's all about positioning.
It is starting to wane. Let's look at the graphs here, just see exactly how big this is. Now, at 36 minutes, 3,600 gold, or 37 minutes, it's pretty much even. Like, that amount of gold isn't going to spell too much damage. No. One auto attack being dodged will even almost that entire amount of gold.
The experience is 534. I know they're all level 20, but just look how even this game's been if they're at that experience level. That means they're still getting the same amount of farm as the game's gone on.
But Ionic is level 20. That's important. Incon is level 18.
Good point. So the ultimates should do a little bit more damage. And they've got one more ability on the pull, I believe. His pull will be a little bit longer at the moment on Incon, ever so slightly, as it does reduce as you max it.
That's right. Plus Wrath of Terra doing less damage, like you said.
Base stats.
Base stats as well.
That's
obviously
the big thing.
That's the biggest
thing. It's what, 208 health right now missing?
I think it's
I think it's 104, just like Ymir, yeah?
I think it is the same as you missed, but not just the base stats. Is an item still missing on Incon right now. Across the way, if you look at Allied, sorry, not Allied, Ionic, he is at full build here. Witchblade, Wingblade, Midgardian Mail, Sovereignty, Talaria, and a breastplate of Valor to round out. Very, very tanky.
You don't build Magi's into Bologna. This is something we talked about yesterday with Aurora. Easy, right there. One shot. Using that 3 takes it away, 90-second cooldown incurred, and realistically, Bologna didn't even feel that.
I mean, what you can do with the Magi's, though, is when you can see the countdown ticking down, you know when your Magi's is back up, so you could initiate just before, Jeff?
You can. It's so hard to play around.
Weaken's really out of position here. Swift Engines did not separate him far enough. Stun from Garz. No
Weaken's
stun.
quite tanky, though, and we Witchblade as well, and he's got that hide and Armenian Lion.
Did he just walk back in? Incon throwing his pullout onto Ionic. Not much gained here. Corpse throw, not going to do much damage there, off the mark.
It's a good zoning tool, those corpses, remember that. I mean, we saw them being talked about by Boosh last game round as well. Those corpses, they may not look like a threat, but if you stand on them and you get exploded on, it's going to hurt.
Weaken a little bit below full health here. Everyone else looking pristine. Divios actually missing about 5%.
Surprisingly, the Boosh a little bit behind on build from what I can see here. He's still not finished off his Rodder Tahuti, and then he's still got Soul Reaver to go for here as well, DM.
It looks like he's biding his time. Can we check gold in hand here? Agni, about 200 gold away. Allied, though.
Yeah, but look what Allied's got left to finish here as well. Going to get a crit online, and that's a big point to make as well now. That crit
should be
will
rage.
hit home. It's not going to be Deathbringer.
Deathbringer. Okay, so he's really going to be relying on dice rolls here. 20% as opposed to an average of about 42%.
But if that hits, if that crits.
Right, if he hits that 20% roll.
What we're going to do now at the moment, though, is 23 to 20. The Fire Giant is available again.
And Incon's Magi's is back up.
Incon's Magi's is back up. Let's have a little listen to TSM, though, as they're trying to defend against the Fire Giant and potentially bring themselves back to a 2-2.
Well, I don't know if I want to back right now, because
Do you have a sentry for where we're
I
standing?
can one fire.
Let's
I
do
can
it,
sentry right
let's
now.
do it.
I'm backing around. So
You counter the one behind fire.
I think it's Magi's. That's his Magi's.
just, I don't want you guys.
We don't even
Just
want to
go
be
back,
up
just go
that
back.
far.
Yeah, you guys.
And none of them have
outplay-
sentries on them right now. They have to
I'm
like
back
back.
Blue
right now,
spawning,
I'm
blue
backing
spawning.
They're back. I'm
Can I
also
shut this
backing.
blue
I
time?
think. No.
Can I shit this blue time, guards?
Oh yeah.
We should look to
going to
pressure.
the right.
Look for dash on. Looking for dash. Oh, no
Wait,
one's here.
and
No
pushing
one's
on
here.
Wait
something. We don't
for-
have
wait
blue
for-
Do you have
shield.
our dude? Do you have our dude?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does.
yeah,
Yeah, he does.
yeah,
Now we
yeah.
should look for our pressure.
Yeah, we have
Looking for dash
on.
on. Looking for dash on. Got incon. That's it.
They might engage.
They're like walled.
Allies disarmed. Or, I mean,
They're
there
going
was
at Devious pretty hard.
Yeah.
Michelle.
Cyclone's chasing.
I'm back.
Alright, I'm weakening. I'm
Yeah.
weakening.
Hey back.
You by yourself. You
You're
yeah,
alone.
yeah,
I'm
I'm not
yeah.
gonna re-engage.
I'm ulting.
I can get a taunt maybe.
Can I land on
Heavenly?
anyone?
Yeah, I think we can fight.
Yeah,
I'm taking.
Yeah, I'm landing on.
I'll watch out.
Got it,
Watch me, go,
That's
watch
my
me.
headling. That's my headling.
That's his combat blink.
I'm out.
He's running
back
back
in.
in. Run through.
Back
I'll
in.
watch out.
Back in.
I got him, I got him.
Nice.
No, Osiris isn't there.
Nice job.
Nice, we can.
Nice. Incon. Nice.
And
the game. Nice.
End the game.
Try it if you can, guys.
You got it, man. You fucking got it, man. Keep going, man. Keep going.
Let's go.
Perfect. Fucking.
What the hell happens when we do these listenings? I mean, every time we go to one of them, they win a big team fight. TSM, just from that one listening DM, just won this game.
It was just beautiful. Opwash gets caught early on. Gars chases it perfectly. Osiris doesn't have the damage to control. Weaken's Nemesis didn't have enough damage to really floor the front line. But the big thing is they invested so much damage into Divios. He backs out, teleports back in, no issue whatsoever. Completely clean win from TSM.
It was such a long engagement that as well around the fire giant. We saw Incon lose his Medjais early on. They re-lost it again, like you were saying. Bellona Scourge disarms him again, and then they realize the opportunity that they had. Gars comes up, gets a 3-man hit, and that just made the fight go in their favor, Jeff.
The big things to me was Gars going up and Devios TPing back in, and I think that's
Both
where it
worked
was ended.
perfectly.
But it all starts based off one call, and Gars, in my opinion, won that fight when he said, none of them have sentries. So they start moving up, controlling all the vision. Then it's up to AFK. They have to react, and they have to react negatively. They can't find a way to initiate properly because they don't have the information.
And we discussed that in Game 3 as well, Jeff. You were saying, what do you do around the fire giant? It's like, well, you want to sentry it up, control the area, know the vision of it. And one of the calls that you saw at TSM was like, I want to get a sentry. Like, I don't want to go back just yet because I don't want to give up the position. It was very important for them. One team fight in the late game like that, it will completely end a game outright and a full deicide.
It was brilliant. It was brilliant. The way that Boosh played, he barely talked in that fight from what I heard. He was just throwing those bombs down, keeping that line going. Snoopy, though, constantly calling, switching targets nonstop. And those hard target switches are key.
Great work from the boys of TSM. We've got ourselves a tight game at 2-2. Adonis and Eftar, a lot of us predicted 3-1, but we ain't going to see that today. What did you think?
No 3-1 today, Hindu. 2-2. We're going to the first 5th game of the entire tournament. And I mean, all 4 of these first games have been incredibly close. We've seen so many back and forths. No game has been clean. We've seen a couple pretty dominating wins yesterday and earlier today, but nothing. No team is giving anything up.
Game 5. I mean, this is why we watch, man. We want to see the highest level. That's why we're here with the SPL, the Summer Finals presented by Cursed Voice. This is what we live for. It's so exciting. The 3-win-in-a-row run back for Team SoloMid is what they're going to try to attempt.
Oh yeah, I was like, what are you, like, predicting?
No. I'm not Trix Tank.
You're not Trix Tank?
We actually haven't mentioned that at all. We got to bring that up. Trix Tank has been backstage with the analysts watching and has just predicted the last, I think, 4 engagements separately. I predicted the Team SoloMid, the Fire Giant kill, the wipe, and the win. It's been outlandish. I'm going to make him buy me lotto tickets.
I mean, I already told him he's coming to the casino with me tonight. But no, he's done a fantastic job. He's done a fantastic job. The entire team of Team SoloMid has done a fantastic job to bring this one back.
Yeah.
And I do want to highlight really some of the picks they've got here. They take the Athena away from AFK. How powerful was that for them?
Huge. I mean, Athena's a character that AFK has been using this series, this split, this year. It's just we've seen so much of it, and a lot of it when you think about just on the surface level, AFK likes to set up Cyclone Spin. What better way to do that than make somebody look at him? Especially when you consider Medusa's also in that mix. It's integral. Can AFK win without it? Sure. Will it be hard in Game 5? Absolutely.
You know, we also take a look at some of the picks we've been seeing coming out of Weekend, and they're typically these frontline gods that build very tanky, and he went Nemesis, who was a very late-game assassin, but he did put a little bit of tankiness in. You saw the early Nemenian Lion, but he was going mostly damage and trying to focus out Boosh in the backline, but that didn't seem to work. Do you think that was one of the problems AFK was having, was not having that really frontline initiator like they normally do with Weekend?
It was problematic. I think it's a far throw away from the Odin and other things that we're used to seeing out of Weekend, but I did think it was a valuable asset to the team. Not valuable enough to bring the win home, because as you said, it was a little jarring to see the complete dichotomy between the stronger supportish gods that he's playing, most notably the Ymir, into the Nemesis. But don't forget, Nemesis is one of Weekend's headline gods. This is what he started on. It's the team skin for a reason. So I don't...
That's true.
I mean, do I think that they lost because of the Nemesis? Not necessarily. But could they have been in a better position to win with a different character? Possibly.
So one thing I noticed from Team SoloMid is they were looking for the two hard carries on AFK, and they always seem to get one. Earlier on, they were really focusing out Allied. We saw Gars constantly dive him and really combo that with Snoopy's ult. Later in the game, that changed to Kiki being the priority, making sure Opwash couldn't get online. Do you think there's something AFK could have done better to protect them, or is it simply just Team SoloMid finding those opportunities and taking them?
Half and half, Kevin. I think on the one side, you could protect Allied a little bit better. Team SoloMid is doing an excellent job of getting to the back end and into the back line of AFK, because that's what won AFK the first two games. Fantastic performance of the back line from Allied from a safe position. But as I said, half and half, you can't stop the accuracy of Snoopy.
He's been on point. I mean, the cast has been saying aimbot. It honestly might be true. I think we're going to need to check, make sure nothing on the clouds installed.
I mean, it's great. I like the CS reference, but it's incredible to see what Snoopy has been able to do with these ROM snipes, lowering the kill threshold of just either lowering the HP from the get-go or securing the kills. It's fun, and that's why we like Smite, because you can come in with all the X's and O's and bring your analyst and your coach, but at the end of the day, if you don't hit your shots, you're not going to win. Team SoloMid's bringing the accuracy, and they're winning the games.
Yeah, for those of you just joining us, we're in the final game of the final set of Day 2, Team SoloMid versus AFK.
Countdown?
No. AFK took the first two games. Team SoloMid has brought it back to the final one. Winner of this will take on Paradigm in the finals tomorrow, starting at 1 p.m. But, I mean, I want to go back, and there's this talk about Snoopy that we always say, that it's like, he's the underrated player on TSM who always show up. But I think he is the one who has really been performing. 5 wins this tournament for Team SoloMid. 5 times he's been on ROM. We saw AFK ban it out the first 2 games. Yeah. Are they going to take it out this one? Are they going to respect it?
I think so. I think the move for AFK, I think you want to look towards the ROM ban, and you're exactly correct. Snoopy, it's odd to say the weak link. There is no weak link on Team SoloMid.
No, he's just like, there's so many stars.
Right, but you know, at the end of the day, Snoopy is the character on the team that you're expecting to carry the least of all. You come into this land, Snoopy's got a fresh cut, he looks nice, and he's killing it. He's absolutely killing it. I don't think anybody really expected this out of Snoopy. Besides himself, he's ready to show a new face, and he's absolutely doing everything he needs to for the team. We're used to seeing carry out of different positions from Team SoloMid. Gars is doing fantastically in these past couple of games, but I don't think that these Team SoloMid wins would have been W's without the help of Snoopy.
Yeah, and speaking of Gars, we've seen him recently get a lot more Thor. Before it was, I mean, Season 1, it was banned out every game. No team really is worried about it. I think they've played against it so much now that they're used to it. I don't think we saw the full Thor Gars last match, but I saw moments of it. I saw him diving 1 versus 3, hitting the double taps, stunning out perfectly, great walls. He did miss a couple ults later on, but I mean, overall, Gars has been playing out of his mind as well, and I think setting up a lot for Snoopy to succeed.
Exactly, and a big part of what makes Gars successful is Ionic doing what Ionic does. Thor ult is a fantastic initiation, but it's an amazing secondary initiation, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing Team SoloMid start fights, they get halfway done, and then Thor lands in the middle of everything when everybody's beads are down. Snoopy gets free shots. There's double kills and triple kills all across the board because of the setup that we're seeing out of Gars. Like you said, the meta's like the wind. Thorgars is back.
Thorgars is back. You heard it here. Guys, we're getting set up for the final game of Team SoloMid versus AFK. AFK, winners of the spring finals a couple months ago. They defeated Team SoloMid 3-1. It's a great rematch. Real quick, guys, though, Alpha Draft's very important. This may be the last reminder you get. We're locked out for today, but tomorrow you can create and draft your teams, potentially win some money. You can enter the free ones, win some prizes. It's a great way to really have fun with your Smite knowledge.
I mean, yeah, we have a lot of fans at home that really fancy themselves. I remember when we did the fantasy last time around, everybody was excited. Take that excitement to alphadraft.com and put it in your bank account.
Okay. I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna tell you Trix's prediction, and I want you to tell me your prediction. Trix said he's gonna be facing AFK Gaming in the finals tomorrow, and he did say that TSM was gonna win that last game. What are you saying?
I have watched Trix Tank be correct for the past 2.5 hours. I don't know if I'm going to go against that, but even with that in mind, forgetting it, I also think AFK could take this. I think as long as the picks and bans go the way that they want it to, I think the game will follow suit.
I have to agree. I think the picks and bans are going to be very important here. And to present you with those picks and bans, it's going to be Hindu, Jeff Hinla, and DM Brandon for Game 5.